EBS TV Reloaded.
Your systems are offline.
All right, thank you for joining us. It's Issues and Answers on Edo Broadcasting Service in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. I'm Josephine Eimihe, and this morning we'll be looking at Edo State government effort to sanitize the state of commercial sex workers. That's what we'll be looking at this morning. Before we start, let me give you some of what happened some few weeks back, where the State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development went around the metropolis, and in the process of doing the job, they discovered there were some illegal activities within the city metropolis, and it results to the raiding of such hideouts. And these activities were causing traffic buildups in some areas. So the ministry swung into action, and it was discovered there are a lot of things ongoing in the city. And recently also, there were also a raid within the Iyama houses. And there's a story on that. Let me read it before we start on this conversation this morning. The news item is at least 8 underage children have been apprehended around the Iyama and Country Home roads in Benin City following a surprise raid by officials of the Edo State Ministry of Social Development and Gender Issues in its operation to evacuate children used as pimps from the streets. Many of the children claim to have sneaked into Benin City from neighboring villages and states. All 8 children were taken to the Edo State Correctional Home, where arrangements are expected to be made to reunite them with their families. However, Edo State government has vowed to sustain the raiding of underage children and commercial sex workers from the streets of Benin. So I've established that, so we know what is going on right now. So this morning we have some persons who will be looking at this, the state government effort in raiding the states of commercial sex workers. We have our marriage counselor. Yes, she's into women relationship activities, and she has a whole lot to let us know this morning about the effort of the state government. We have Pastor Richard Spain in Maswem. Thank you, madam, for coming.
Thank you, and viewers, good morning.
All right, we have the CEO or MD, Society to Heighten Awareness of Women and Children Abuse. Sotowaka, Mrs. Robuke Ojekere, you're welcome this morning.
Thank you so very much. Good morning, viewers.
All right, so there are various names for commercial sex workers. Some call it prostitution, some call it other names. But Mrs. Ojekere, I want you to tell us what is the real meaning of prostitution?
In one word, I would say that prostitution or a prostitute is one who uses her body or who uses his body to solicit for sex. Many say, like they call themselves, they say it is an occupation.
Profession.
It's an occupation, it's a profession, it's a job. Because I'm sure that for anybody to agree to be labeled a prostitute or a commercial sex worker, there are things that you go through to be able. You can't just go and stand on a street corner that you know nobody and say you are a prostitute there. So it's like a cartel, it's like a string of activities that goes on there. They have their madams, they have people they go to, they have fees that they pay to these people. So I would say that prostitution is just, in a very simple word, I don't want to make the mistake of calling it an illicit activity, lest I get beaten again.
Were you beaten before?
Yes, I once, I'm not mentioning names of where the station it was, and I had to talk about this same topic. At that time, it wasn't as bad as this, but my concern was the fact that I was seeing little children, then I called them breastless little girls, hanging the streets of a particular area, and we were talking about it. That was my pain. My pain was, what are these little girls at this time of the night doing in such an unhealthy environment? So we're crying out loud that please, we should start to look into these things, and they were not as bad as this. At least then there was still fear of when a car slides in front of you, you are afraid of who is coming in, so you first have to go inside before they bring you out and all of that. So we cried about that, and it was on air, and I got a very, very interesting phone call from somebody who claimed that she was the president of the National Association for, and she told me that they were duly registered.
National Association of what?
National Association of Prostitution, of Prostitutes.
In Edo State?
Well, it's a national thing, so probably this is the chairman. I don't know who she was and all of that. And, she made me realize that they were a legal entity in Nigeria.
That means they've been registered?
They are registered by the Nigerian government, and that same way that I do my NGO work is the same way, whatever it is their choice, And I told that lady, I said, you know what, if you claimed you listened to that program very well, you would know that I don't care what you as an adult does with your body. I don't care. If you like, you strip yourself naked on the street. As long as you are comfortable with what you are doing, I truly do not care. But my pain, and I said to her, and I told her that anytime I have an opportunity to speak about this thing, I will not hesitate to speak about it until government does something about it. I said, what are underage children
like the one
doing
we just read
on the street? You said they are pimping. These ones were girls who were put out there as prostitutes, child prostitutes. I said, what are they doing there? And she became nasty. She became vulgar. But at least I got her to the point where she showed anger. And I said, if you don't rid these children out of it, one day government would come, not only to rid the little children, but to rid all of you, because you have constituted a nuisance.
And your prophecy, it came to pass.
It came to pass, even if it took a few years, but it came to pass, because the areas you called, you can't pass. Those are my routes from my office. You can't pass that area because they are almost on the road. And it's very painful. The painful aspect of it, which you also have identified, are that most of these people are not Edo State indigenes. They're coming from somewhere else to come and infiltrate our streets, give us a bad name. Growing up back in the day, there was only one area we knew for commercial sex workers, and that is Ubagwe. And if for peradventure anybody sees you saying that you are crossing to cut off to Forestry Road from Mission Road, then they say, I will see you for Ubagwe. It was just their area, and they came to their areas and all. But now you see them naked bodies, silly little things hanging around. I don't want to be, but I'm happy.
Okay, all right. Before I go to Madam Risho's thing, did you check if they were really registered? The Association of
Bring out your phone and check it out, and you will see that they're registered. Yes.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to know because I did my findings. I just wanted.
Yes.
All right. Pastor Richard's pen. You saw what happened. I read the story. Our government went hard. in some streets, and they raided some areas, and they caught some little girls. And apart from the girls, we see other commercial workers being driven out from where they normally stay. What is your view concerning the government's move to sanitize the streets of Benin?
Well, that move is on the right direction. It's a good one. And I must commend the effort of the government. It's a big kudos to government. But I want to say that, I'm really surprised, though not too surprised, hearing from my co-speaker here that these people are registered. So the next question that comes to your mind is,
Who registered them?
registered them?
Yes.
And who are the people chasing them around out of the street? Why is the whole thing sounding so confused? Well, I want to say that prostitution have been here with us. And these prostitutes are humans like you and I. As counselor, I've been fortunate to get some of them call me maybe after my radio broadcast and then for counsel. I remember one of them calling me that, well, I've been in the street and then there is this man, I've been going out with him. The man is married, happily married with children, and then the man even took me out of the street. I'm quoting her, gave me a very comfortable place to stay. But now the reason why I'm calling you counselor is because this man is on me. He wants me to give him a baby. And I like, well, I've been following you. I want to find out if I should give him a baby. And I asked her, did you say he's married? He said, yes. He has kids? She said, yes. I said, okay. So I greeted her, I appreciated her, and I told her, please don't give him a child. Now, there are so many men that will tell you, that I will tell you they can't do without these people. And these people now are being taken out of the street. I'm very happy about it. But I want to say the government should take a step further. And what's the step? These people have been taken out of the street, but I'll tell you, many of them are still working. They are still working.
What kind of work are we talking about right now?
Okay, like my colleague rightly puts, they take it as a job. They take it as, I mean, they are, how will I put it now? They are,
Is it like a career?
yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. They are career ladies, so to speak, but it's an unenviable career. So these people need help. If you call some of them and ask them, why are you doing this thing? They'll tell you, well, I'm just trying to see how I can help out my siblings, story. But the issue here is, you can always help out if you want to help out, without having to go into such kind of career. So, back to the government, these people need help. You have driven them away. What next? I think we should be very, permit me to use the word holistic about this thing. You have driven them. What next? What if you try to see how you can rehabilitate these people? What if you try to call them and say, okay, what's your problem? You need money. Can we give you jobs? Can we, because chasing them away, look, quote me, these people will still resettle. It's a matter of time. Except the government rises up to this. Okay, come, let's reason together. What's your issue? Because they are everywhere. They are go to other states. Oh, they are everywhere. But our own states now, those states, we want to no, let's sanitize our states. So what do we do so that these people all around us now can reason with us? Okay. They need to reason with us so that they can decide to buy our idea. Because for them, hey, what I'm doing is good for me. Like she rightly put, somebody said, it's not your body, it's my body. But we are saying what you're doing is wrong.
All right,
It's not good for you.
All right,
We are
let
trying
me stop you there.
Okay.
Before I know she wants to say something to what you just said, but let me read this again. He said all 8 children were taken to the Edo State Correctional Home. That means there's a space for rehabilitation.
Okay.
If they would just oblige, bring themselves in, so the state can help them. But most of these persons, they don't want it. They've taken it as a full-time job. But for the younger underage children, what the state government is presently doing is to take them off the street, rehabilitate them, and reunite them to their families.
Beautiful.
Madam, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I was going to come in to say to you, my sister, these people, many of them are not Edo State indigenes. One. Two, I pride myself in saying that I did a report that earned me a scholarship to Colorado. I did it with the Wole Soyinka Institute of Investigative Journalism, and it was centered around child prostitution. And for, as a journalist, and you said, investigative, we had to go into the streets.
Yeah.
We had to
disguise.
be like one of them.
Yeah.
And because I knew what my focal beneficiary, my targeted beneficiary thing was, I looked out for these underage children. And I took them. I got somebody to mask as one who was ready
To pay.
to pay. And how much do you want? She has to give 5,000 naira first before she leaves the place. And then we took her to this place and we started talking. Because the person already had the kind of questions. And the little girl got infuriated. But that's not what she came here for.
The little girl.
Yeah, she said, I'm not going to touch you. I just need certain vital information. I would not disclose your age. I would not disclose your name. I would not disclose anything about you. You will not see me again to come near you. I will not touch you. I will just let us know what it is we want to know, and we'll take you away and drop you back. And she said, that is a good night now, blah, blah, blah. And she gave us all the information that we needed, and we left. Then, very close to my office, there's a cartel, there's a place there, where they sit, where they go out and they come back in. You know them, we know them. They are living amongst us. They come in the night to come and hang out on the streets. They have homes.
Okay.
I have discussed with some, and they tell me I have children. I lock them up in the room while I come here to earn my living, and then I go back. Their children are in schools.
All
You
right.
understand? Like she said, the CAC registered them. Why did they not proscribe them? They've given them a legal entity. They have a voice like you and I. So if we are reading them out of the streets and they are still hanging out in wherever their homes are and all of them, many of them have favorite customers who call them up.
Yeah.
All right? And they can still do their businesses the way they want to do it.
Apart from the streets.
My cry is that these are not Edo State indigenes. They are the ones that are giving us the bad name. I don't care. I don't know where Edo State girls go to, because obviously
These ones in Benin.
these ones in Benin are not here. So the Edo State people who know that they can be easily identified will not do their mess in Edo State. They will take themselves out somewhere else.
Okay.
To go and do it.
When she was talking, she said most of the persons you've met, Pastor Richardson, she said most of them said they are into this work because of the hardship, economic factor that is happening. That's why they're in. Apart from that factor that contributes to prostitution, Madam Ojekere, what other issues do you think that will make somebody to just go into prostitution apart from economic hardship? Before you say that, because we find out that in some cases, most girls, they are from wealthy homes. They are from wealthy families. They don't lack money, but they still indulge in such trade. What other factors you think?
Let us even look at this thing where everybody is saying poverty, economic hardship. Are you comfortable?
Not at all.
Am I comfortable? Is she
I would love to
comfortable?
say that.
Yeah.
Is she comfortable?
No.
All of us are feeling the pinch.
The bite.
But are we hanging out on the streets? No. What I think is just the matter is this thing about greed. I want to live above my means. Okay, yes, many of them would have come from downtrodden homes to say, okay, we want to bring up or we want to, but that is not an excuse. It's not an excuse. What of our university students when they are in school? Many of them are students and they are workers. Those are the ones we call the professional students. They are all there. So it is just a thing of the mindset. If you remember your name, if you remember where you are coming from, you would not do things that will make you ashamed. And that is why these people that we talk to that have come from other places, because they know that they have a name, they have a family to protect, let me go out, let me do my business and come back. Many will tell you, like the ones that I have talked to personally, and I even said, okay, let me give you a job so that at the end of the month, you have money coming in. You know what she said to me? I get money every day. If I get a good customer or a good man who wants to take me for 24 hours, what you are giving me,
I can get it.
I can get more if I get a good customer. And then I said to you, are you thinking about the security implications about that? What if they take you and say they want you for 24 hours and they kill you? Oh, you know, every day we go out, when we come back, we kneel down and we say, thank you, God, we have survived these ones. These people do not have any iota of sympathy for themselves. They have crossed their minds to the fact that, you know what, we have to work. And we do not want to work for a madam. We want to be our own bosses. We want to be able to spend our own money. Yes, we have ridden them off the streets. Beautiful. But I tell you what, even those malams who sell indomie, who sell bread on those same streets, have contact numbers. They have been on that street. Their customers know them.
So government should go further apart from ridding them off the streets.
It's not going to be a win-win situation. It's a enormous task. It is a huge task. Because remember that these people have their certificates. So if they fall under that cloud that we are commercial sex workers, we have our certificate to back us up. But it is just that nuisance value that they put on the streets that is worrisome to us.
Yeah.
Like she rightly said, there are people who cannot do without them. We have a lot of our big men who patronize them for crying out loud. Have we stopped those men? They sit in their hotels waiting for them. We just heard a story now, somebody who, a man has taken her off the street to keep her. She's a kept woman, a kept prostitute.
A mistress.
No, the mistress is even a kept prostitute. I don't want no other man to have access to your body. I want to be the only one to have
Enjoying the
access to
body.
your body. Then you go a step further to say, now have a baby for me, so that to you are sealing something. You gave her an accommodation. You have a wife and you have your children, but you have a steady commercial sex worker who is giving to you what you feel your wife cannot
Okay,
give to you.
Madam Roki, do you think that sometimes, apart from government going out to get these people, that if government can still like set a trap to catch those men still patronizing this?
I not go school, please.
Oh my God!
Didn't the police try it one time?
Oh my God!
Didn't the police, our Nigerian police, didn't they try it one time? All you will just hear is the same men, then they come. Oh, that is the people who sell things on the street corner, and they take off. The unlucky ones, where policemen not sleeping with them, or you bail yourself and not get money, or you bring and they submit. And this same women or girls and all of that come out and they squeal. Wow. There are beer parlors where they sit down. Are you going to send to a beer somebody who is selling beer at night?
To try them.
The person can just sit down there and be buying and just buy.
And be sipping one just beer for
just
the night.
just one Coke or one water, because they know that their people will come.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. It's a very coolant tax for Edo State government, but we just hope that it should reduce it, not like stop it totally, because
No,
that's
we
where
can't. No, we can't.
we can't stop it totally.
We can't. But we can read those children. That should be our concern. Anybody who is above 18, to your tent, so Israel, don't litter our street. Don't corrupt our children. And that has been my cry.
I believe that was why the commissioner for physical planning went towards that direction, because he said most of these areas you see traffic build up, especially in a particular time of the night. Some of them are involved in drug abuse. A lot of things are just going on within that settings. I believe that was a reason behind going for such persons. Madam Richardsburg, most of these things, some of these girls, they are from families. They came from various homes. Do you think the family is doing enough in taking care of their own children so that it will stop them from going out to prostitute? Do you think about that?
Well, we know that the time we are in, many families are sick. Many families are sick, and it further gives room to all of this we are talking about. When a girl child is from a family where the father and mother live like cat and rats, and nobody to talk to. I mean, when they have issues, they don't even have anybody to talk to. Mom and dad leave home very early, come back very late. They are not available for them. And so these children are left onto, they are left onto themselves. And then they make decisions and decide to, like, okay, fine, let me help myself. But I equally tell you, there are homes where the parents even encourage their children to go into this. What are we saying? There are homes where the girl is like, no, I want to pursue my education, and they're like, you can read and write, please be like your mates. How will you define a parent having a daughter, a parent that live in a room and a parlor, or live in 2-bedroom flats? They are not even up to average. And then you have a daughter that carries a phone worth 300,000. And you even proud yourself that my daughter is doing.
They attend private universities even.
So what are we saying? So we have to, just like she rightly put, we can't, let's not deceive ourselves. We can't tell ourselves now that prostitution is all over. But we can take steps gradually towards it. We can bring in these people. We can put little laws here and there. And you see, it has to start with, it must start with us. Like she rightly put, we are a body that is set to monitor these people, but amongst us are customers. We are a body that is set to monitor these people, but you know that you are a vibrant customer. of these same people,
In the night.
one or two of you, and they know it. It's not like we're talking about the CAC. They are duly registered. And they're like, what? I know what I'm doing is legal. I am an NGO and I'm operating, So we have to, as much as the case seems so hopeless, there's still hope. And I probably want to say this, like a broadcast I have somewhere. We should equally delve into involving clergymen and women, because some of these girls need spiritual help. I know that I'm on a broadcast that you won't term a religious broadcast, but it is the truth. If you get close to many of them, like a case we had some time ago where, okay, a boy I was counseling, this was a boy who said he got in contact, sexual, contact with somebody, and after that, from that time or from that moment, he started having unquenchable urge. He just could not control himself. Even to he told me that to the extent when I see a female on TV, on the screen, he's like, oh, how I wish I can enter into this TV now and then capture.
Maybe you need a psychiatric doctor.
So, okay, yeah, so the psychiatric, we have to be holistic about it. The psychiatric can get involved, clergymen can get involved, and then you see many of these people, when you attend to them in some particular way, you see them, they're like, oh, like this case fall off. And they just realize themselves. So the government is doing well, I must confess, but let's take a step further. And let's equally not stigmatize these people. Because stigmatizing them, I don't think it will help. Oh, look at this. And there are persons who are even at home that do worse prostitution than some of these people who are out there, I must confess. So
they have control.
Yeah. So let's not tag them. Let's not stigmatize them. Let's see how we can help them.
All right.
As to show them love, and I think we are going to be taking a step towards the right direction.
When I say control, I mean control cause. You just control them and they say, where are you?
Yeah.
And they're there. Madam Ojekira, I just have to stay on that. This matter, government cannot do it alone. The parents have a lot to play. Do you think parents are failing in raising up their girl child? Because we even have male prostitutes also. So do you think parents are failing in bringing up their children properly?
Let's start this way. How many parents know that when their children are not with them, they are doing things that they ought not to do? You can't always have your children around of you. The morals a parent puts in a child, pray God that that child does not meet somebody who is stronger willed negatively.
Sorry, dear.
Excuse me.
All right.
I said this about the prostitutes that, or the commercial sex workers that come to Benin. We are looking at Benin.
All right, we'll come to you. Just relax a bit. We'll come to you. Let me go to Madam Maswell. Most persons believe that taking these girls off the street, or the men, because we still have the men, we should not forget that, will lead to, some call it unemployment. We raise the hunger level in the society. So, Madam, we'll come back to you. So let me get a thought on that. That this issue of taking them off the street will increase the hunger level, because most of them are getting them and someone that is taking care of their various sons.
How? It will not. If you watch the statement she made a while ago, some of these girls say, okay, it's because of poverty, that's why we are doing this. But many of us are not very comfortable. But we are still pressing, we are moving, and then we are happy that something is happening for us in a positive direction, in whatever direction we try to put our hands. So I won't agree to it that it is because of poverty. Do you know that some of these girls work? Many of them do online businesses. They do online businesses. So if they have somebody who could, really stay on them, show them love, follow them, and then help them with the little resources to equally help them meet up, and then add this other part of praying them out of it, I'm telling you, many of them will opt out.
Okay, but they just said they are registered, so they are professionals. So if you are taking them off the seat, you are laying them off their jobs.
No, there are other jobs. There are other good, legit jobs to do.
All right, let me come to you, ma'am. Talking about parents failing in their duties, can you just take it up from there once again?
Okay, I was going to say something, and I'm going to tilt it to our universities. I'm going to tilt it to our secondary schools, right? I started off by talking about morals and values and all of that. And I said to you that pray you do not get your daughter or your son doesn't have a friend whose willpower is stronger than theirs, negatively. All right? Who would make them think that what we are doing is right. Let's remember this thing. Peer pressure influence on children. Okay? You say raise hunger level. How? Are they hungry? They are not hungry. It is just that this is what I want to do with my body. These girls wear human hair, not synthetic hair.
That's true.
These girls do pure acrylic on their nails, not artificial nails. They sit and just, they are just there. My cry, and it will always be my cry, away from the traffic build-up, right, that certain areas are now experiencing. I grew up in the old GRA, where Ihama was an express road, where Boundary Road was an express road. But where you now make homes, hotels, places that were clearly cut out to be homes. I had friends who lived in those homes. You now turn them to hotels, and they are almost one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Many of those hotels, how viable are they if they are not glorified short-time joints? So, at the end of the day, I will not totally blame it on the parents. I wouldn't, because like I said to you, many of these children have, your report said they snuck out of their homes. Many parents don't
From
know.
their states.
Yes. Another bunch of nuisance that we are having now are these street urchins, these little boys. What I think will be their control measures, it's just that one will say, okay, you are encouraging prostitution, but our federal government has already encouraged prostitution by legalizing their profession. Let them look for one village, one place, and just know that that is where they are.
Set up a home.
Like what Bad Boy was when we were growing up. If you go there, you know that you are going to solicit for whatever.
Okay. All right. We are finally running up this program. What do you think is the way out from this? And before I will ask that, do you think government should continue it often as
Raiding? Yes.
Against one time and they will stop? Or should it be a continuous process, madam?
It should be a continuous process, not just a continuous process. The people who are involved should equally be sanitized. The people who are doing this, pursuing the prostitutes. I mean, if you are amongst this body, if you are amongst these people, the government have set up to sanitize these prostitutes, and you have anything to do with them, please stop it. Because it's like, telling them, well, don't worry, I'll just join them to do, but don't worry, we are for you. Like a report that was taken in a place I joined in this broadcast, and somebody was saying that, somebody said, they are not too happy about this thing that the government have done, that these are the people that give them solace and give them comfort when their wives are misbehaving.
Yeah.
So I actually want to say this to every woman that is married. If you are married to that man and you are like a thorn on his flesh, I want you to know that you are making him vulnerable. Because every man wants to get a place where he can get peace, get some, a man told me, this very girl, when I go to her or when we are together, after eating, she picked my teeth. She make sure, she even make sure she used brush to remove the stains and all of that, which my wife will never do. She won't even see it, talk less of doing it. So it's a whole lot of work for married women. I know you don't want your husband to be vulnerable to this girl. I call them Jackie Chan. So that is aside. So the step the government have taken is a good one, and I want them to stay at it. It's not just a hit and run. If you do hit and run, these girls are desperate and they are determined. So you must stay at it, and then you must equally work on the people you are using, and then take it one step after the other. Like I said before, let's not stigmatize them. They are our children. Let's show them love. Let's see how we can help them. And like she rightly put, if we discover there are someone not indigenous who have come from other states to spoil our names here, let's see how we can return them if it's possible. It's my take.
All right.
It's my humble take.
An adult.
Okay, Madam.
You can't move an adult. There's something called freedom of association, freedom of movement. We have all the legal things, all the rights put in place that these girls can get up and say, first of all, I'm an adult. I'm 18 years. I'm above 18 years. This is what I have chosen for myself, right? And this is what I want to do. Okay, fine. We have raided them. We have chased them out of the streets. We have, and now it's a global world. Everybody is holding an Android phone. They have numbers. The people who sell at the street corners are their pimps. They've driven them off. They've rented homes. They've rented houses. They are in their houses, and they are still doing their work.
So what do you want Edo State government to do more? Apart from this raiding, what do you want them to do more?
Are you going to now start to go to their homes? That's the question I want to ask.
Okay.
Yes, we've raided them off here. Right, fine. Those we can catch, that they are all money, a great majority of them, a percentage of them are not from Edo State. I beat my chest to say it. If we catch them, send them back. You know how they used to catch people in Lagos, those destitutes, and put them in a godo trailer and go and drop them back in their place. But let me tell you something, they will find their way back.
What about identifying their madams or their ogas?
Would they show you their madams or their oga?
From your investigation, were you able to get any of them?
Nobody said anything.
They
I
didn't
said
say
it
that.
is sworn to secrecy.
Okay. All right. The best part of it is that the state government has
It's a continuous
He
thing.
has taken a stand
Yeah.
to sanitize the state. Apart from the other hazards of it, leading to traffic build-up is a terrible thing, and this use of drugs, the drug abuse also is a bad one. So that kudos to the state government. I want them to sustain the tempo of ridding the state of commercial sex workers and other criminal activities. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your thoughts this morning. We've been looking at Edo State government efforts to sanitize the state of commercial sex workers, and we have Madam Ronke Ojekere. She is the CEO, Society to Heighten Awareness of Women and Children Abuse, Sotawaka. Thank you for your thoughts this morning.
Thank you very much.
Marriage Counselor, Pastor Rich Ben in Maswell. Thank you for your thoughts once again.
My pleasure.
That's our show, and many thanks to my producer, Godwin Inobakale.
This is EBS TV Reloaded.
Computer systems are offline.